Close. Give me a second. Close. About 22:45. Close. What is this called? Close. Okay. What the hell is this class of car?
It's this class of car that can only work in Southeast Asia.
Right. Why? Are you insulting us?
But I mean,
why do you think it will work in Southeast Asia, this class?
I used to think it's an insult, but it's also that's the market reality. There are a lot of people who live in lower income situations.
Right.
Who you can insult and say, I don't have 5 children, don't have 6 children, but it's in their culture to have 5, 6 children.
Yeah. Already have, cannot change.
Yeah. Cannot change. They're in the transformation process, right?
Yeah.
Once they realize how much it costs and all that, then maybe they'll advise other people not to have so much. But it's just the reality of this part of the world. Indonesia.
So you need to carry a lot of people around.
You need to carry a lot of people around. You don't want to spend anything on maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah. So your options are basically Daihatsu, Toyota, Perodua.
And it's got to be tough.
I
realize the issue. It's got to be tough. It's got to carry a lot of people around. That's why you have the Innovas and the Avanzas.
Yes.
Yeah. They are tough. They're tougher than Alphard or Estima.
Yeah.
On this third world car, I used to complain because they used to be really low grade.
Yeah.
You look at Answer, you look at even the early Avanzas, they're horrible stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, they remind you, you third world country, you second rate Asians.
I think third rate lah. Indian is second rate.
We're third rate Asians, But nowadays, I mean, this is really a third world product. I mean, it was designed for this region. It functions really well in this region. I mean, in preliminary testing, but it doesn't make you feel like.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah?
It's a bit awkward looking, but when you look at the wheel arches and how much gap it is, then it looks a bit weird. The awkwardness.
There is an awkwardness to its proportion because you don't see this kind of car in developed world, I think.
And you don't see SUVs 7-seat this small. 7-seater SUVs are usually
much bigger.
C to D segment. So it's a bit of a squeeze and a weird shape.
Correct.
But when you look at the design,
you scrutinize the details.
When you scrutinize the details, it does get a bit weird. But from some angles, especially the front and directly from the rear, they get a lot of the design details.
Okay.
Well enough to the point where you can't really complain.
Okay. Yeah. We're talking about performance now.
Yeah.
Let's talk figures, facts, boy.
1.5 litre.
This is a Vios engine.
Yes, dual VTI.
So 100 and odd a bit horsepower, 130 Newton meter on top.
For 7 people, it might be a bit of a stretch.
It's not enough, to be honest. It's not enough. I wouldn't say the car is underpowered when we're carrying give or take about 200 kg of human beings here.
Human flesh.
Human flesh. 200 kg of flesh. No cargo at the back. I put on 30 kg at the back just now. A bag of 30 kg thing. It sinked a little bit, but now no more.
Yeah, and we had 3 people just now.
I felt it. With him just now, I felt it. But he is another 100. I think he's 100 odd. He looks heavier. So
another meat bag.
So with 300 kg, you will feel a little bit of a drag.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Southeast Asians are smaller. 300 kg is a lot of weight for Southeast Asian.
Okay, let's say you fill it up with 1, 2, 3, 4 adults and 3 children.
Right. You are filling up, give or take about what, 400 kg?
Yeah.
You will feel a bit of a drag on the performance. But well, test driving it with 2 adults, adding 200 kg here. To be honest, it's sprightly. It's enough. It's fine.
It's enough. I wouldn't say sprightly.
But I don't think it is slow. In fact, it catches up with traffic. Yeah.
On the highway, I was thinking just now, we were going 110.
Right.
You're revving over about 3,000 plus now.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's not.
So the tuning is really a Indonesia tuning, where you're never really above 110.
Yes.
Therein lies the problem because we are always above 110.
In Malaysia, we can say our roads are bad, but our highways are
genuinely good. Yeah.
So I would keep this car below 100 km per hour, maybe 90.
Is there nothing you can do to make it?
You can shift it down to. You can select.
Is there nothing in this gear ratio that allows you to cruise below 3,000 at 2.5 or 2.8 at 110?
Downhill.
Well, this is left a bit wanting, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, but I think it's made for Kampung Road.
I agree on that. Definitely, it's made for Kampung Road, not your above 110. But for a Malaysian that drives on highway, let's say you live in the Klang Valley, you drive on a highway every day. Well, in a way, I think it's not comfortable enough that you have to cruise at 3,000 plus RPM. But the reality is the engine is so small, you can't really consume that much fuel anyway, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that suffers is the NVH, I suppose, in that way, in that sense. One more gear would have been perfect, but that's not how Toyota does things.
Yeah, and that's how Perodua does things.
Oh, that's not how
4-speed since we started till we die 4-speed.
Since the grandfather changed from 3rd speed to 4th, it has
never changed.
It's never changed. Yeah, I mean, performance-wise, I can't say it sucked. It is a bit shocking that you don't have a good overdrive gear. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this car is missing. Overdrive.
Yeah. Maybe because the car's engine can't really deliver a good overdrive gear. Also, with 100 horses, I mean, seriously, what the hell, right? And you're carrying so much weight, right?
Yeah. It's basically the engine and the gearbox. Their limit, right, is doing 110.
Yeah.
You know, that is it can achieve, and that's all you get.
So the ceiling is a little bit low, to be honest. But anything below that ceiling, I have to say, really good. And this is where I think I have to talk about the other aspect of performance and the comfort.
Yeah.
You know, at first when I was sitting here, I find it very difficult to find a comfortable driving position.
Yeah.
But after a while, not too bad.
Yeah.
I have to say though, the seats are surprisingly well cushioned. It's bouncy. It's thick and bouncy a bit. Yeah, it's a very different feel from what I expect. This class of car tends to remind you of how thin, how little you pay.
You get the foam from the mattress, the cheap foam mattress, the 100 ringgit one.
Yeah.
You get that kind of seating, but here it's actually thick.
It's thick, man. It's proper thick, man. Yeah.
They attempted to do some bolstering, which I think is a bit unnecessary.
They did, and I don't know why. At first it feels a bit odd, but after driving and sitting in it for a while, you know, the car already performs pretty well over rough roads. And now with this bolstering,
it's like really,
it's really not bad.
Like an armchair floating over it.
So I mean, comfort-wise, the car, anything below the ceiling, the glass ceiling that we mentioned just now, this car actually performs really well. Despite all its failures, I have to give its performance a 4 out of 5.
Design, I think this what's it called? This Aruz.
Yeah.
The details are actually a little bit better done than the Toyota Rush.
You think so?
The Toyota Rush, the face looks a bit odd.
Okay.
It's a minor thing, like just the grill.
Right.
But the Perodua actually looks a bit better.
Oh, is it?
It's just the garnish is a little bit more tasteful. It's got a more fierce looking face.
Okay.
But besides that, I think the overall look is decent.
Decent.
Nothing to shout about.
I mean, it's modern looking.
It's modern looking. You get LED headlights, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the only weird part is because it's made for 7 people and all that. They do jack it up a little bit.
They jack it up and pull it a bit long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the proportions are a bit off.
It's a bit awkward to my eyes, to be honest.
Yeah. Interior, honestly, for a Southeast Asian spec car, they did enough to bling it up without looking too cheesy as well. It has everything. It has a smart mirroring.
Okay.
So you plug in your smartphone and Waze and stuff like that can come out here.
Right.
And it has navigation. It has radio, Bluetooth, all. But I don't know. The interface just looks a little bit childish. It looks a bit. Nah. You know?
It's not great, lah. I mean,
it's not great, but it's very
normal,
functional.
It's functional. It's a very normal interface, no?
Yeah.
Nothing to shout about. Nothing to complain much.
So design, what do you think?
A design, I don't have much thought about it. I mean, for a person who purchases, I finally understood the man who buys a Toyota Land Cruiser, because I am almost that man now, but still not there because can't afford. To him, the looks is not the most important thing. What matters is what is underneath, and it's not about technology. He would like technology. It would be fine. It would be great, but he can live without it. But ultimately, the car has to work. So it is awkward looking. I don't really like the way it looks, but hey, you know, it's not the most important thing. This ride quality will change my mind over the look anytime.
Right. So yeah, it looks, I think 3 lah. It's a very average looking car.
Yeah, I mean, I would have given it 2.5, but then, I will. The interior, I think, is not too bad. Nowadays, Toyota has a little bit of flair on the inside. You know,
instead of just giving you a flat plastic or textured plastic, they give you a little bit of something, some pattern.
It's okay. It's nice. Like it. I have not much opinion about the interior, and I don't think it matters to most of its customers.
Yeah.
Okay, value.
Value.
What's the price of the car?
This is 70. Oh, what? 70. You know, it's already 70.
Yeah. 25.
73.
Oh, not bad. Not bad. Oh, cheaper than a Vios.
So guess how much is the Toyota Rush, which is almost exactly the same.
No, 3 horsepower more.
3 horsepower more. Blind spot warning.
Yeah.
And not even leather seat, fabric seats. So in some ways it's worse. It's 93.
Aruz it is, thank you very much.
Aruz, thank you very much.
I wasn't expecting much. Getting in here initially, I was like, okay, it's a normal car. You know, I struggled to see how this is better than Avanza, because Avanza probably has better sitting position than this car, right? But Avanza is...
There's an image problem.
Yeah, because it used to be horrible, wasn't it? Yeah. But
and they've done nothing but facelift it and facelift it and facelift it.
Now it looks like a Velfire.
With a big grill.
So, well, some people may like it lah. I mean, Velfire, there's a club.
Owners club.
Together we are united.
Yeah, yes.
What else? Abudan. Mr. Obvious.
The only way that could be worse if it's like together we are separated, then they cross out and no, united. Figured it out halfway through. I can't. Anyway, so I got into this car without a lot of expectation. I expected it to be a mediocre car, expected it to suck a little bit, and it didn't. So that was the first good thing. Then, when I take it off-road, it really shined. So I have to say, I was very pleasantly surprised. I'm not saying it's a great car. It's a very normal car. It does everything you expected. Nothing out of the ordinary. Gearbox is fine. Okay, maybe it should have had a 5th gear. But other than that, everything was fine. Steering was predictable, correctly weighted. Seats are comfortable. Suspension is not overly soft, not overly hard. Everything was just mediocre until I take it off-road. And that is a quality that a lot of cars, I don't know about the Avanza, but I would dare say the BRZ. You shall never get it right.
Yeah, I'll never get it. The BRV would not have, which is the ability to Land Cruiser itself out of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah. It's so amazing, man. Other than the wheel spin because of rear wheel drive, it is a little brother of the big brother, some very far away.
Yeah, adopted brother.
Yeah, adopted because even the brand is different.
It's a no-brainer. There's no need for a review, so because you're getting a Toyota for Perodua price. Yeah. Gravel test number 3.
Oh, so good. Look at that. Wow. Wow, this is Toyota, man. The genes of Toyota off-roaders.
So strong.
I hear. It's like it came alive, isn't it?
Suddenly it's like, wow, headlights came on by itself.
This is amazing. You know, this is where the Land Cruiser reputation comes from. Yeah, it's distantly related.
Very distant.